They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen, but we're actually upstairs tonight.
We are.
This is our office room. But tonight we're just kind of chilling back and relaxing and looking back on 2023. Can you believe it's almost gone?
Hard to believe.
We asked folks if they wanted to ask a few questions tonight.
Got a bunch of questions.
We got a bunch of questions, so we're going to ask several questions. The first one's from Vicky Cheatham Nichols. She said, what will your menu look like for Christmas dinner? You know, a lot of times people are, we're walking around talking, we're listening to music. So it's kind of, we've gone to more finger foods.
This year.
And what surprises do you have for me that I don't even know about?
You don't even know. Kelly and I are doing all the cooking this year. We're going to do meatballs. We did spinach pie. We're going to have smoked chicken. She's making roll-ups and cheese potatoes. Now, Darren's a little upset. He was hoping for prime rib, but he'll be all right.
Well, you know what? Our menu has changed a little bit because Kelly found out that she had alpha-gal, and that's a very serious condition. It's a tick-borne illness that you can't eat red meat. So a lot of times, we would have a lamb shank.
Right.
That was a tradition. Or a lot of times we would have prime rib and things like that. But we got to make things that everybody enjoys.
That's right.
It's kind of easy because it's just walking around the house and talking and listening to Christmas music. So finger foods are in this year.
Well, the meatballs are turkey. Spinach pie even has got
some brownies, cream cheese brownies.
Oh yeah, cream cheese. Those are for you and Darren.
Okay, another question. Now sometimes we get questions from people we know. This is Allison Jane Roberts, your old high school buddy.
It is.
She said, you two are so busy. Where do you find time to relax and enjoy life? We do short getaways and we like to travel.
Right.
So, we go see the kids in Florida. We got kids in Michigan. We got one in Alaska now.
We're going to have to go to Alaska.
So we're running all over the place seeing our kids. But producing a television show is a busy thing. It keeps you busy year round.
Right.
A lot of people do 10 to 17 shows per year. We do a little bit more than that. A lot of times we're traveling and we'll shoot stuff while we're traveling. And now let's get to the real deal here. Elizabeth Akers says, what are your top 3 favorite dishes you have made in 2023? So when we started thinking about that, I asked Kelly, I asked you, I myself, I like the pickling process.
You do.
And I like anything that's salty or that you can put in the refrigerator. So I made some refrigerator pickles that I really like.
Yum.
Weren't those good?
Those were really good.
Crispy. I want my pickles crispy.
You like pickles.
And we figured out how to do that with this recipe. Now, a lot of people love sweet pickles. A lot of people love dill pickles. I don't know that we've done a dill pickle show. And there's so many recipes out there. This is a simple solution. Now, it does have some sugar, but remember, you're not drinking the solution.
Right.
You're eating the pickle. It just flavors it. And trust me, to balance out the salt, you want a little sugar in there. Here's one thing that's really good. When we make a jar of pickles, there's no dyes or chemicals in it. This is straight good stuff, fresh stuff. And they have a fresh, good taste. It's hard to explain. All right, so what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna need 1.25 cups of water. We're gonna do 1.75 cups of distilled white vinegar. Now some people use apple cider. I like the clear white vinegar.
Ready?
We're gonna use 3 teaspoons of kosher salt. You do not want to use regular table salt here because it can turn it funny colors.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's anti-caking agents in that. So when you use kosher salt, you can use pickling salt as well. All right, we're gonna do 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. So that's our liquid part. We're gonna bring that to a boil until your sugar dissolves. Now we don't want to cook these pickles. The whole point of these crispy pickles is the fact that we're gonna let this After it boils, we're going to let it get down to room temperature
Right.
before we put them in a jar.
We just want this to dissolve.
Just want that to dissolve. You want your sugar and your salt to dissolve. So that's a very basic solution. Your flavor, you're going to see where that comes from in a minute.
That looks good.
So we're just about there. All right, so let's turn that off. Everything's dissolved in
That's
there.
all we want. Set it
So
aside.
now where's the taste come from? Fresh dill. Look at this. We're going to take several sprigs of fresh dill.
So another one. Drop it in there for
We're
you.
going to drop that in the bottom. Now this is a very simple recipe. These flavors, when you have your vinegar, when it's combined with the dill and the fresh garlic and the mustard seed, let's do about a teaspoon of that. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard. Now we used, in one of the jars, we used ground mustard and it didn't settle out as well, I don't think. Something else we're going to do, and we've got some Tellicherry pepper. You don't have to use Tellicherry, you can use any kind of black peppercorns. Now, if you want to go crazy here, you could. Nicki doesn't like things real hot. This adds just a bit of heat. You don't even notice, really. You didn't notice in that pickle. You could go crazy if you
I
want.
know you could. You'd put them all in there, wouldn't you?
But we're not going to go crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome, love.
Thank you.
I would not do that to you. So there's where we are. So now we're going to let this cool down. I'm going to go ahead and pack my pickles in here. And you want these as many as you can get in here. So got these little fellers,
I'll help you hold them up.
if you don't mind. You want to get as many pickles in there as you possibly can.
You know what I've noticed too? The farmers markets have better pickles. This was from the
Yes.
farmers market. They
Yes.
always have better pickles.
That's not gonna fit.
You got to pull one pickle out, I think.
Yeah, I don't
You're
think
gonna have
I'm
to
gonna
give
get
up.
that.
That's right. That other one was a little bit smaller.
it smaller?
That's right. There. That's plenty of pickles for you. How's that?
Ta-da!
Good.
I don't know. I think I can get one more.
Do you? I don't know.
I give up. Okay, so we're gonna let this cool down. Now, already it smells like beautiful, wonderful pickles.
Yeah.
That will last about 3 months
Right.
in the refrigerator. Those are refrigerator pickles. Now, if you wanted to make them last longer, or if you wanted to hot bath them,
Yeah.
or if you wanted to even pressure cook them, you can do that. If you want them to last
A
a
year.
long time. But the thing is, they're not gonna have the crunch.
Right. You want that last pickle, don't you?
I might cut it in half.
Do you want to cut it?
Let's cut it in half.
All right.
Seems like it needs that a little bit
A
more.
little more pickle. You hate to waste.
Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
Give me that other half.
You think you get it in there?
Look at that.
We're not gonna get any juice now.
That's beautiful. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this jar, and we're gonna put asparagus in there. Same thing, same deal. Now the one thing that I am gonna do is I'm gonna put a little more red pepper flake because I like my asparagus very flavorful. I like it
And you want to eat it
like
alone.
a little bit warm.
Yeah. You want 2 of those or 1?
Let's do 2 of
2 of
those.
them? Okay.
2 pieces of garlic in there. Same deal on this. Peppercorns, mustard seed. There's my mustard seed.
Ready for your asparagus?
And let's see where this is at.
Get in
That's
there?
ready.
Ready?
That's ready.
Do you want these 2?
Yep, let's cut them just.
Oh, right there?
Yeah, we kind of make it go a little, yep. Now look at here.
Yummy.
This is going to go in here, as many as I can possibly fit.
Yummy.
And again, this is nice and crispy. If you were to hot bath this, it'll last you a couple months longer, but it's going to be as soggy as it can be.
Because it'll be your snack for the week, though. You need it quick.
Oh, I will get rid of all this
I
stuff
know you will.
in no time flat.
All right. Want this up here?
We're ready.
Ready to pour it in?
We're ready.
All right.
Oh, is this magic? 1 jar at a time.
It's almost perfect.
It is perfect.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yay.
Now we'll cram those down there just a little bit more so they absorb
And
that.
if you have extra, that's good. You'd rather have extra than
That's
not enough.
exactly right. So what do we got now? Future
Look how
snacks.
pretty that looks. Those are beautiful. They're pretty.
Now look at that. Those are
excited.
fresh and beautiful and wonderful. Those go in the refrigerator. Now the problem is, it's supposed to be 5 days.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to keep my hands off them. I ate that pickle just a little while ago and it was just
Right.
fantastic.
It'll just get better then. Just
It
think
just
of it
gets
that way.
better. By the time 5 days have rolled around, you're going to be wanting to eat lots
These will
and
be
lots of
gone.
pickles.
They're not going to make it. I'm going to put these in the fridge.
So a lot of times we're inspired by going out to eat somewhere.
Right.
A lot of times we'll have something you say, please make this
That's
for
right.
me. And I really enjoy the reverse engineering process. And we went to a little Italian place in Mount Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. And they had vodka pasta,
My favorite.
which I hadn't had since the 80s.
Right.
And I got something else and you got the vodka pasta. And I'm like, give me a bite of that. And so we came home and we made vodka pasta.
Yes.
And it was just absolutely wonderful.
We have it once a month because I love it so much.
We got to be careful because if we're not careful, we'll get burnt out on something. we started doing poached salmon with a white wine deal.
That's right.
And we had it like 3 times a week.
I'm ready for that again though now.
Yeah,
we haven't had it
ready.
in a while.
But let's get back to the vodka pasta and we'll have that right now. So here's what we're going to do. Now a lot of people might use a pancetta, but I'm going to use a homemade Italian sausage with Italian spices, and I don't want it to be big, obnoxious pieces. I love the flavor.
Give it a nice flavor.
Yes, because it's got the garlic in it, and it's got some basil, and it's got some oregano. We made some of this years ago up at the cabin. If you want to look on our website, you can find that recipe there.
How much did you put? Is that about
That's probably, what, a third of a
I
pound?
think a third of a
would you
pound?
say?
Yeah.
And Mrs. Farmer asked for this specifically after we came home
did.
from that restaurant. And it was all the rage, and it kind of fell out of style for a while. And all of a sudden, it's coming back.
Yeah, that's good.
Because people have kind of rediscovered it. This is not an old recipe. You know, most people say it's a Italian-American recipe. But whatever it is, it's amazing. Now, if you cook with alcohol, and a lot of people don't like to use alcohol, again, we're going to cook most of that alcohol out. But the flavors that alcohol brings, if it's beer or wine, you get that yeasty, wonderful flavor that you can't even explain. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get another. Now all this is cast iron. This is enamel cast iron, so this is a cast iron show. Let's lay down some olive oil. Now we could have all done this in one skillet, but
You like to make a mess for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because I'll have to wash all these dishes later. Such a pain. Now, Mrs. Farmer always has to have bread with her Italian meals, so she
course.
made some nice Italian bread.
So good.
It could be French bread. It could be any kind of bread.
That's right.
It's delicious,
That's
though.
right. Delicious bread.
So it's fairly easy and it's beautiful. So what are we going to do now? So if you'll cut me up some, now I like onion. I like a good sweet onion. I also like shallot, and I like garlic. And when I make a spaghetti sauce or I make a marinara, I always include all three. And when those three are together, to me, they have just a wonderful, wonderful taste.
Do you want these little baby ones?
Tiny.
All right.
All right, here we go. Onions and shallot.
And how much garlic did you say you needed?
Give me 2 cloves.
2 cloves.
So we're going to get these translucent. We've cut them up fairly small. The thing about this dish is it really comes together pretty quick.
Yes, it does.
You know, when we went to that restaurant, you got it actually.
Yeah, and you ate
And
most
I
of it.
wanted to try something else, which was delicious too.
Yes.
But I couldn't stay out of yours. It's just special.
It is delicious.
You know, I posted it the other day and I said, hey, this is a potential next show. You asked for it to be our next show.
Yes, I loved it.
And people said, yes, yes, yes. So that's what we're doing. We're working hard for you. So now if you'll press me a couple
Got them here ready for you.
pieces of garlic. Now when you're cooking, you don't have to be in a hurry. You know, I remember the great chefs and the good cooks that I've been around in my life. None of them got in a hurry. All right, we're going to do some red pepper flakes. If it was
Very
me,
little.
if it was
That's
me,
good. That's good. That's good.
I would do. No, you're not going to taste that. Promise. I did that last time. If it was me, I
You
would
put a
have
lot.
a tablespoon.
I know.
in there.
Don't do it.
So where are we at? We're at the point now. We're going to take about. Oh, I don't know. Let's start off with about a half a cup of vodka.
Oh wow.
Now, what I have noticed, aromatic. It's aromatic.
Really good.
That's what happens when you use alcohol in cooking. It really, can you
Smells
smell
good.
that? Now, here's another thing you could do that I have done. If you like the anise flavor, the star anise flavor, you could put a little bit of a liqueur, an anise liqueur in here, and it gives it a wonderful taste. Now,
Oh,
that's up to
yeah.
you. If you're not using alcohol, you're not going to have an anise liqueur, but if you have some of that, and most of that's French, but it really does some special things to sauces. In fact, I'm going to sneak some of that in. And that's just going to deepen that flavor. Now, if you will, Ms. Farmer, let's dump that sausage in here.
Ready?
Again, this is a fresh, sweet Italian sausage, and it's about a third of a pound. And I just want to,
Yeah.
you could have cooked that in this pan, but we didn't.
Delicious.
Now that you see that has reduced down, and again, that was 3/4 of a cup of vodka. Look how that's reduced down. The smell, the aromatic
It's all getting
magic
into meat.
going on there. So now we're going to dump in our beautiful crushed tomatoes. That's about 28 ounces.
Smelling good.
What do you think?
I like it. I'm ready.
dig
I'm
it?
excited.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Now, a lot of people in their recipes would call for parsley. I'm not a big parsley fan.
You're not, are you?
Do you know what would go good with this?
What?
What do you think?
Basil?
You know me. I like basil in any of my marinara sauces or any of my Italian sauces. Sweet basil is a magic thing. It has that wonderful fresh smell. We're gonna cut that up real fine.
I'll do that for you.
Now we're gonna cook this down until we start seeing most of the moisture out of there. So let's go ahead and put our basil in here.
Ready?
And that's probably, what would you say, a tablespoon?
Probably at
Smell
least.
that,
It
Nicki.
smells super good.
Oh my!
I'm excited.
And we're not even done. So this is about 12 ounces. Your water's boiling. At this point, you put a little
Salt in there.
salt in there. And this is about 12, 13 ounces. And that's gonna take 12, 13 minutes. So you want it a little bit al dente. All right, so here's where we are. We're getting most of the moisture cooked out of this.
Your pasta looks good.
So here's what I want to do. I want to take just a little bit of this water to thicken this just a bit. Penne alla vodka. We're even going to have a salad. You can't stop us. We're out of control. The magic.
The cream.
Cream.
Yum.
Heavy cream. Let's get all that out of there. This is where your sauce will have that creamy pink look to it. You got to have some fresh quality Parmesan cheese too.
That's delish.
Look at that. That's where it begins to be magic. Now what we're gonna do to make it even better?
Need some Parmesan cheese.
Oh, we need some fresh
You ready?
Parmesan cheese. Go ahead.
You gotta freshly grate it.
Bread's cooking in the background, beginning to smell that.
Is it growing? See, it's growing.
Oh yeah. We're gonna mix that in, thicken that up. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering.
Tell me when. Just keep going.
A little bit more. Now we're going to use at least, that's what's that, a quarter of a cup? That's good.
At least.
That's good. That's good. Look at this color. Look at this beautiful color. In fact, you can slide that right over here if you want. You can take it off the heat now. It's just where it needs to be. Bring those right in. Oh, I just wish everybody could come over for dinner. I'm going to stir that around until it really picks that up. Look at that.
Looks
oh,
delish.
look at that. Look at that beautiful pink color.
I'm excited.
Fusilli alla vodka. It's supposed to be penne. But
I'll
this
just
will
say
be fun.
vodka sauce. How's that?
Oh, just look at that. All right, we're going to plate this up and set it down and talk about it.
Yummy.
Oh, the smell. Fusilli alla vodka.
That's way too fancy for
Can
me.
you dig it?
I can, but I'll go ahead and
Take a bite.
I'll try it anyway.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It's my new favorite.
I know,
Italian.
and we got to be careful because what we'll do is we'll fix it too often.
I know. That is so good.
Oh my. Oh my. Do you see what happens? Dishes kind of go out of style and they come back. Everywhere we look now, we're seeing this.
Yes, and that's easy. You could do that for a big group. Some of the best Italian I've ever had. I love it.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
So, there's the thickness of the. We actually brought some of the water over there, cooked down from the pasta. And I'm telling you, when you do things at your house and when you have fresh ingredients and you take your time and study it, move along, the world is wide open for
right.
food adventures.
I kind of like this better. I mean, regular spaghetti's delicious in your sauce, but it's got more of a bite. This is creamy.
Oh,
This is delicious.
it's special. So I asked Kelly what her favorite thing was, and she looked back and she said the oatmeal cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, as a kid, I loved oatmeal cake. One time, somebody came on our Facebook page and said, why don't you make this on the show? And we did,
Found a good recipe.
and it was
Ooh.
delicious. So how do we get this thing started?
All right, you notice I have water going here.
I did notice
I have
that.
some water boiling, and what we're gonna do is start off half a cup of oatmeal.
Gotcha.
And those are just regular, that's not instant regular, but you could use instant if you want. I need 3/4 of a cup of water. This is pretty hot. I know it's hot. All right.
How much water?
3/4 cup
3/4
of
cup.
boiling water.
It's got to be boiling.
It's got to be boiling. We're going to put that in, and I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in this. And we're going to set this aside for a minute while we make our cake. And we're just going to mix this up. We're making you a bowl of oatmeal.
I'd eat
You
that.
hungry?
I'm not scared.
Okay, we're going to set our oatmeal aside,
All right.
give it 10, some people 20 minutes. It can just sit there. So you can make that early,
That smells good.
let it sit. All right, we're going to start with lard. And I have got a 1/4 cup of lard.
Now here's the deal. Some people say, well, I don't use lard. What else could you use, Mrs. Farmer?
You could use butter, you could use shortening, but I have to use lard. So I have a 1/4 cup, and I've let it sit out so you can see it's kind of loose. I like it better like that.
That's our lard that we
Yes,
rendered.
it is. Our lard. Now I have a lot of sugar. 3/4 cup of white sugar,
All right.
and we have 3/4 cup of brown sugar.
That's where it's at.
That's right.
It's the brown sugar.
And I don't got the big mixer out tonight because we're just going to mix a little, and we're going to fold in the flour later. So I'm just going to mix this with my little hand. Kind of just mix the sugars with the lard here a little bit. I'm going to add 1 egg.
Oh, I know what's going on here. And I
Yummy.
don't like it.
Now we've let the oatmeal sit. Usually you can let it sit. You want to let it sit at least 10 minutes to 20 minutes because you'll see how it's kind of gotten a little bit thicker here. And we're going to go ahead and add our oatmeal. Now we're going to mix this in. See how it's still kind of runny?
Yeah, but it looks magic.
And we're going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to add it to the flour. 3/4 cup of self-rising flour. A little bit of salt. Let's do about 1/4 to 1/2 of the salt too. So I'm going to kind of just fold this in so we don't bang it all up.
Oh, I can already smell that.
Doesn't it smell delicious? Like an oatmeal cookie. Now I already have greased and floured a pan. If you grab that for me, it's a 9x9.
All right.
We're making a small one because you could double this. But
That's just my size.
That's right.
To eat the whole
You can
thing.
have it all yourself. And we are going to set the oven at 350. I'm just going to keep mixing this with this spatula until it looks good. Looks pretty good to me. What do you think?
Good to me.
All right, we're going to pour this in.
I'll
And
straighten it up for you.
we've got the oven set at 350 right now. And we're going to let this go 30 to 35 minutes.
And you know what? It's kind of fun when we do something live like that and people come on and kind of remind you of something that you haven't done in a long time.
That was a challenge, and we have so many old cookbooks of our mothers and grandmothers. I always find something in there.
Okay, you got to put your cake in.
That's right, it just hit 350. You
All
get
right.
the oven for me?
All right.
And we're going to let this go 35 minutes.
Oh, you don't know how excited I am about that cake. I knew butter was involved.
You did.
So what do you do to make this wonderful topping that just makes it perfect?
It does. And actually, the cake has sat a while. Now, we could have iced it right away, but we ate so many things. I have 3 tablespoons of butter in here.
Okay.
This is 1/2 cup of brown sugar,
And?
1/4 cup of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to let this all melt. And when it's melted, I have over here a 1/2 cup of coconut and a 1/4 cup of pecans.
When I think about German chocolate cake, I think about that icing. It's very similar to this, but I actually like this better because I love the oatmeal stuff so well.
You do. All right. That's melted. 1/2 cup coconut. Chopped up some pecans. That's a 1/4 cup. We're going to mix this up. We're going to put this on top of the cake. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And I have the broiler going on high.
I just noticed that. I was
Yes.
checking that out.
We're going to broil this for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to watch it because when it bubbles, it's going to harden it up and we're going to take it right off.
I am so glad the viewer mentioned to us oatmeal cake. When I was a kid, oh, how I loved this.
Oh, this is so wonderful. We're just going to spread it on here. It's yummy.
I just can't explain to you. I'm sure folks out there have had oatmeal cake.
When you talk to people, everybody says their grandma made it.
But when you take the top and you caramelize this brown sugar and this butter and the coconut.
You getting excited?
The coconut has the consistency of the oatmeal down below. So you have the texture and the pecans and the brown sugar and the butter, and I'm gonna cry.
You are. Okay,
It's so
let's
beautiful.
finish it then.
Oh,
and you know what's so
please.
good? Because usually you have to let it sit after you let it broil for a while, but I have another one. And it's already cool, so you can eat it.
I can
You ready?
eat it. I can eat it.
Now I'm gonna watch this careful, because we don't want it to burn.
So it's just a couple minutes.
Yes. Take
Would
you
you
a bite.
look? And the consistency, you know, of this particular cake and all the gooey goodness.
Oh my word. That's sweet. You probably love it, don't you? Wow.
If the Marine Corps had not taught me discipline, I would destroy both of these cakes right here in front of everybody.
You did the one by itself.
So how do you get on that Facebook page? Is it difficult?
You hit like.
That's it?
Yes.
And if you're looking for some of these recipes, where in the world would you go, Miss Farmer?
You go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
Yes, you do. Happy New Year.
That's right.
2024. A lot of surprises, a lot of fun stuff. Well, our half hour is up, so it's all about
Good times.
good friends.
And you need to take me to eat. I'm starving.
And we'll see you next year. We have been catering for a lot of years, and I wanted everything to have a specific taste. Therefore, I had to come up with my own products.
Right.
A dry rub, chow chow, and our barbecue sauce are something that we use in all our catering gigs. I developed this barbecue sauce that is not the really thick, syrupy stuff that you get. This has more of a natural, it's got some pepper and onion flavor in it. You can actually see the particulates in there. You know, a lot of people are asking what we use our dry rub on. Now, obviously, pork and chicken are two of the more common things. Also, we've been using our corn on the cob with butter.
That is.
I'm telling you, this
It's
stuff
wonderful.
with potatoes is fantastic. So 40 years in the making, Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Dry Rub.
Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Emerson Farms Country Store. Something for every member of the family. Ephraim McDowell Medical Center in Danville, Kentucky. Gulf Coast Connection. Seafood straight from the Gulf to you. The Spine Center of Central Kentucky. Wilderness Road Hospitality, Stanford, Kentucky. Visit Frankfort, Kentucky's spirited capital city.